Petey Pal friends, welcome to round one, day one of our Masked Reader event. We have some great books to share with you and we're super excited to get reading. Today we have the koala versus the bunny. So in this video you can listen to the koala read her book choice, and at the end of her book I will link the video for the bunny's book choice. So be sure to watch both videos today and hit the like button for the reader that you would like to see move on to round two. Happy reading!
Hi everybody, today I'm going to be reading a book called Airmail to the Moon by Tom Birdseye. Airmail to the Moon. My name is Orme Cotton, and last night somebody stole my tooth. I've been down at the creek catching crawdads when it all started tingling. Kinda like you missed your toast and peanut butter and bit your teeth really hard instead. That was 3 weeks ago. I was popcorn panning and excited. For sure that tooth was gonna fall out any second. But Dad-all, that's what I call my daddy, always says not to milk the cow when she's asleep, which is crabapple orchard talk for not blabbing to everyone about something before you're sure of what you're blabbing about. So I didn't tell a soul. Then, last Monday, while fetching the mail at the county road, I stuck my tongue out at my pesky neighbor Marietta Bean and I gave her a big raspberry like this. The vibration from my tongue flapping against my teeth popped that chomper of mine loose as a goose on ice skates. So I told the whole world about my fierce tooth coming out, whether they wanted to hear it or not. By Thursday, that tooth was so wobbly, it was just hanging on by one root and a flap of skin. I could push it all the way out between my lips and my tongue and help Mama slop the hogs at the same time. Oreo, my mama said to me. Oreo's my nickname, just like the sweet cookie I am. Don't flop your tooth out when you're working. It reminds me of your cousin Cyrus before he got braces. So I kept that tooth inside my mouth, worrying it like mad with my tongue. Then, Friday, right after my big brother Bodine and my little sister Kelsey Ann got in a fight at the dinner table over whether Arlene Peterson's pigs really kneel down and pray before they eat, that loose tooth of mine fell right out of my mouth, plop, and landed smack in the middle of my spaghetti. Mama said to be sure and put that tooth under my pillow. That way that tooth fairy would come and get it and give me some money. Money? Shoot howdy! Mama didn't say how much, but I figured it had to be at least $1,000 or maybe even $100. I was so excited I hurried to bed as quick as a drop cat just so I could dream all night about the things I was going to buy. But like I said, somebody stole my tooth, so I guess I dreamed all night for nothing. First thing this morning, when I discovered the crime, I ran lickety-split to find Mama. She was in the root cellar, up to her elbows in rutabagas. Mama, I exploded. Is the tooth fairy crook like that Hester Jenkins that stole the parking meter from in front of the county courthouse? Mama jumped back, eyes as big as sausages. Oh, I know, Oreo. The tooth fairy is as honest as spring sits flowers in the spring. That's what I thought, I fumed. Well then, somebody besides the tooth fairy stole my tooth. Somebody so crooked, they screw their socks on every morning. And when I catch ya, I'm gonna open up a can of gotcha and send them airmail to the moon. Mama looked at me real hard. Oreo, she said, I don't think anybody would steal your tooth. Maybe the tooth fairy is putting it on a string with other teeth to make a beautiful necklace. That's what I've heard she does. She probably forgot to leave you money and will remember tonight. That didn't seem likely to me. What good is a tooth fairy that forgets? Why don't you go ask your daddy? Mama suggested, seeing how upset I was. Maybe he knows something that we don't. Aha, I thought. He's a real thinker, my dad-aw is. Why, he even sells watermelons to the grocery store. He knows mighty near everything. I heard dad-aw before I spied him. He was out by the tire swing, shaving and singing at the same time, which is mighty dangerous if you ask me. Half his face was shaving cream, the other half was as smooth as a baby's belly, as he likes to say. Dad-aw, I yelled. Some crook stole my tooth, and when I catch him, I'm going to open up a can of gotcha and send them airmail to the moon. Dad-aw looked at me real hard. Oreo, he said, I don't think anybody would steal your tooth. Maybe the tooth fairy has it and is grinding it up in a big machine. That tooth dust might come out as money. Then the tooth fairy could use it to buy some real estate, like one of them condominiums at Miami Beach. Dad-aw sauntered over to the back porch steps and sat down. He was thinking about the tooth fairy, money machines, and condominiums, I figured. It was all a who'd have thought it to me. What would I do with a condominium in Miami Beach? Yeah, tooth dust, Dad-aw said. Tooth dust, I kind of shouted. But Dad-aw, somebody stole my tooth. Dad-aw rubbed his chin and nodded. Why don't you go ask your brother? He usually knows more than he tells. Aha, I thought, heading for the barnyard. My brother Bodine is as ornery as a bull in a beehive, and he lost 2 teeth last week, and he fell out of the hayloft. I bet he stole my tooth and glued it straight into his mouth. I'm gonna get that boy, I vowed, and when I do, I'm gonna open up a can of gotcha and send him airmail to the moon. And steal your tooth, Oreo? Brother Bodine said calmly, crawling out from under the corn crib. What would I want with girl teeth anyway? They don't fit boys. I hadn't thought of that. Are you sure you just didn't give it to the tooth fairy, no money down? Why would I do such a thing? I demanded to know. Bodine eyed the hen house. He was looking for his pet snake Fluff. The tooth fairy gives teeth to babies, right, Oreo? Not according to Mama or Dad-aw, she don't. Well, according to me, Bodine Cotton she does. That's so they can chew on rocks and shoes and stuff. Bodine, you're ornery, I reminded him, talking about babies like that. Yep, he whispered as he snuck into the hen house door. But I'm right. Where do you think Sister Kelsey Ann got her teeth when she was little? Aha, I thought. Maybe Bodine has a point. Kelsey Ann is as ornery as Bodine plus 10. She had to be the one who stole my tooth. I'll get that little diddle-do, I roared. The tooth fairy? Bodine asked, sticking his head out of the chicken house. Fluff in one hand, scared, hairy chicken squawking and flying everywhere. No, Kelsey Ann Cotton, I snapped. And when I do, I'm going to open up a can of gotcha and send her airmail to the moon. Kelsey Ann Cotton, I yelled up the backyard apple tree. Give me my tooth. I know you stole it. Pig feathers, she said, hanging upside down from her knees on a tree limb. I'm as sweet as roses in the snow. The tooth fairy steals teeth, not me. She makes them into doorknobs. Didn't you know that, Oreo? Not according to Mama, Dad-aw, and Bodine, she doesn't. You took it, I shrieked. She does not, because I didn't, Kelsey Ann snipped. Does not, you did. Does not, I didn't. Does not, you did. Kelsey Ann giggled. I bet you threw it away, Oreo. It's probably at the garbage can, stuck in the middle of a blob of leftover spaghetti. That's how forgetful you are. That tooth will never be a doorknob. That did it. I was so mad. I was ready to scream. Nobody really knew what the Tooth Fairy was up to. Nobody was a bit of help, and nobody was the lop-eared rascal that stole my tooth. I was just about to pop my cork clean out of Crabapple Orchard. That's how mad I was. But instead, I just stood there looking at my upside-down sister, and I started crying. Loud and long, big tears streaming down my face, tasting like salt. I didn't want to cry, but I couldn't stop. Now, we Cottons banter, shout, squabble, and argue at one another a fair amount, just like any self-respecting family. But if it ever comes to a Cotton bawling real tears of grief, the rest come a-running like a ho-hey-howdy in a flash. Dada, Mama, Boudin, Kelsey Ann, and even my little pesky neighbor, Marietta Bean, were all at my side in 5-second flat. Somebody stole my tooth, I sobbed, crying harder than ever. And when I catch 'em, I'm gonna open up a can of gotcha, and I'm gonna send them airmail to the moon. And I stuck my hands deep down in my pockets, trying to look like I meant it. My name is Orme Cotton of Crabapple Orchard. My face is hot, my toes are curling, and right now, I feel like a possum up a plum tree. I'm as embarrassed as a zebra without stripes. You see, there's this little hard thing in the bottom of my pants pocket. It's right where I left it. I wonder if the Tooth Fairy ever sends motor mouth kids like me airmail to the moon. The end.